Man, how are you?
We're doing really well here, Neil. And you?
Fantastic. And today's topic is managing nausea in pregnancy, part one from Pregnancy Your Way, chapter three. What is the name of pregnancy and post your pregnancy and postpartum book?
It's called Pregnancy Your Way. Choose a safe and happy birth.
Why did you pick this title?
Well, we want moms and dads to know that they have a choice. This is really a how-to book, self-help book on safe pregnancy. So, yes, you can choose a good pregnancy outcome 98% of the time.
Can I manage nausea pregnancy without medications?
Well, I'd like to say that about 90% of moms can manage nausea just by the tips that we give them in our book.
Dr. Lindeman, in your experience, what causes nausea in pregnancy?
Well, there are, I think, five things that are really important. The first one is blood sugar. Low blood sugar really is part of the first half of pregnancy, and that's when morning sickness is the worst. The second thing is dehydration. And when you get dehydrated, you have not only nausea, but you have vomiting. And then there's motion sickness. There's lots of times you can see moms with if they're trying to eat when they're driving the car, for example, they'll have the window open so they can vomit out the window. The fourth thing is low blood sugar, and that's something they would probably find in the shower in the morning. So if they feel like they're going to faint, sit down, don't don't fight it, don't argue with it. And the fifth thing is cooking smells. You know, when women are not pregnant, and this is the same for men, they have a time window when they start cooking. You know, they can smell the food, it smells great, they get hungry. But if they wait too long, they get nauseated. During pregnancy, that time is sped up to about 2 minutes. So 2 minutes after you start cooking, you get nauseated. That's the problem. So you can work your way around that if you want to, by having a slow cooker or having somebody else do the cooking, bring the food into the house. Many different ways you can deal with the smell of food while you're cooking.
How do you treat low blood sugar during pregnancy?
Well, the best thing is to eat 7 meals a day, like a diabetic. So it would be 3 big meals, morning, noon, and night, or evening. And then you have the 4 little meals, the breakfast, I call it the priming breakfast or the pre-breakfast, where you have a piece of fruit like apple, banana, orange by your bedside, have a granola bar, eat that, wait 10 minutes, and then get up and have another breakfast. Then eat your big breakfast and your lunch and your noon meal, then an afternoon lunch, and then your evening meal, and then bedtime snack.
What breakfast should I avoid?
Well, that's the most common breakfast that most people think is a good breakfast. Back in the 80s, there was a government project. It was by McGovern. It talked about, oh, how bad it is to eat fat and eggs and butter. But the worst breakfast is cold cereal, skim milk, orange juice, and a piece of toast.
So, how many breakfasts are you recommending?
I'd recommend two. The first one, the little breakfast, which we just talked about, then a bigger breakfast. And the bigger breakfast should contain all three food groups: carbohydrates, protein, and fat. And the reason for the carbs is that is a fast onset but short action um, uh, carbohydrate, glucose, and then the protein and fat turn into blood sugar later, but act longer. So then, if you eat those things, you will avoid the nausea and the vomiting an hour after you ate your breakfast.
All right, the best place to go is